So tonight we're going to talk about 1 hour product creation. And so let's talk about the hour first and what we mean by the hour. Let's talk about the fact that, whatever you've done to generate cash flow in the make money online niche or the business opportunity niche makes you worth talking to. And so you have to kind of understand that part of it. So whatever you've done, that whether it is you generated an affiliate commission, you have sold a service, you have sold a product, you have gotten a client, that makes you worth talking to, because that puts you in the minority of people online who are trying to generate an income. And you really do have to get that. And it's something that at the very beginning you want to understand is if you've done something and someone has paid you and put money in your PayPal account as a result of something you said or you did, you are worth talking to, and that could be the basis of your product. Now, we're going to talk about more than that, but it certainly could be, and you really do have to believe that. You want to start with a method that you can follow from start to finish. Now, I'm going to tell you how to find that method here, but if you start thinking about something that you have purchased, maybe it's an information product, maybe it is something that you have been working on for a long time, you want to start with something that you're going to create a product on, even if it's something that you bought from someone and all you did was follow the method, right? Start with that in terms of your product creation. I'm going to get into why that matters and why you want to do that in this way, and that you don't want to copy what somebody else has done, because basically the thing that's going to separate you from other people who have created products is that you're going to be getting a result. In other words, you're going to follow a method. You want to follow a method or pick an experience where you got a result. And whatever result you're getting, if somebody is paying you online, someone has paid you online, you have earned something online, you had a check sent to you, you need to document that process. So basically, your product creation always revolves around real life experience documented. Now you might say, well, I haven't earned a dime online. Maybe that is true. You probably earned one then in the real world some way. You probably found some kind of way that you were able to get paid, whether or not you sold something on eBay, maybe you sold something on Amazon, maybe you were paid through your full-time work. Whatever you did, whatever real-life experience that you can document, you start with that experience to create a product in 1 hour. And everybody on this call has one of those. It doesn't have to be that you sold a product on JVZoo. That does not necessarily have to be. It doesn't have to be that you sold a product or you made the affiliate commission on ClickBank. There are more opportunities outside of those things for you to be able to produce a product than there are within those things. So you don't have to feel like, well, I haven't sold anything on ClickBank yet. I don't know if I could get up and I could talk to somebody about what they should do. Well, certainly you just don't have to talk about that one thing. So document some kind of real life experience. Now, if you're with me so far, please put the number 1 in the question box. Okay, so the how. What's the how? So how are we going to deliver this? How are we going to create the product? What are we going to do? We're going to do this by webinar. And I don't really care how good or bad you think you are in a webinar. You are better than you think. And you're going to give the best possible experience to the people if you do a webinar, and you're going to get done with the product. Because if you sit down and you try to do 20 videos, I can almost guarantee you will not finish the product, especially if you haven't created one before. I'm going to suggest whether or not you do it live or whether or not you do it recorded, get yourself a webinar system, if nothing but for 30 days where you can get the free trial. And if you're thinking, well, go to webinar doesn't have a free trial anymore, get one that does. Right? Do a webinar that you can record. So the how you're going to create the product is going to be webinars. In other words, just as I am doing with you right now. So all I'm doing is you see the outline. Now, the outline took a lot of thought. The outline took a lot of construction. The outline took me having these experiences. The outline took me being able to put it all together. But being able to deliver it on webinar is the most efficient way to be able to do this. If I sat down and I tried to create 20 videos as a result of this presentation, I'd never get done. And so what you want to do is you want to put your best, whether or not it's 10 slides or your best 15 slides, your best 10 ideas, and put them into webinar format and deliver the webinar. The other thing is where you're going to launch this. if you're talking about the business opportunity or the make money online niche, we have talked about this on this call before. Basically, you don't have a network, you're going to launch on Warrior Plus. If you already have an affiliate network, you got affiliates to promote for you, then you can launch on JD Zur Zaxa because they're not going to show your offer in the marketplace. If you start on Warrior Plus and your offer is approved, it's going to be shown in the marketplace. And so that's why Warrior Plus is going to be a good place to start, because you're going to get some eyeballs on your offer just by having it available. Doesn't mean you're going to make all the sales in the world, but it does mean that somebody's going to see that offer and put their eyes on it. Right? We've talked about that before. Please put the number 2 in the question box if you get that. So who's the who? So the who, the affiliates, right? Who's going to be your affiliate? Well, the people you purchase from. In other words, anytime you purchase from somebody, you have their support address. That means then you have their ear. So in other words, you're going to write them back and you're going to tell them about something that you have from here. Now I want to tell you about this relationship here in a second. Now, the best person to pick is a person whose product you've already purchased, a person who you're already their affiliate, and you've used their method to generate cash, right? If you can put those 3 things together, that's the best combination to have. Now, you don't have to have them all, but if you have them, you're going to be able to create a product fairly quickly because it's going to be based on something that you did. It wasn't even have to be your method. In other words, you don't have to conceive of the method. You just have to follow it through. And everybody tweaks a method to some way to their own advantage. Everybody tweaks something so it works for them. And basically, when you start retelling your story, you're going to tell it in your own words. You're going to tell it along with the permission of the person who created the method, right? In other words, you want to make sure you contact that person. You're going to contact that person about being your affiliate. In other words, so when are you going to do this? Well, once you've had the experience and it's documented, right? So in other words, if you took a method that you bought an information product, let's say you paid $7, you followed it all the way through and you generated 2 affiliate commissions, it's probably then it's probably time to then start documenting the process so that you can create a product from it. Right now, the last thing we're just going to say about this is that you want to get the product creator to endorse or promote. So in other words, they're going to write that person. You're going to tell them, hey, you know what? I just want to thank you so much. And in one of the conferences, I think his name is Tim Castleman, he suggested that you do a video testimonial of the individual because it's easier for that person to remember you. In fact, it's impossible to forget you if you do a video testimonial of the person and their method, and you say, hey, it's because of let's say the Sterling method that I was able to generate my first commission online, $15, $20. And basically you're going to that person and say, hey, you know what? I just wanted to let you know, hey, I generated my first affiliate commission and it was all the result of your method. Like, you want to get that person to endorse what you're doing. You want to say, hey, and so as a result of that, I'm actually going to be talking about my experience in a case study, and I'm wondering if you'd be willing to promote this for me or put it on your download page or something like that. Right? Again, you lose nothing by doing this. I know that when I say that to you, here's what I know. I know that part probably does not feel comfortable to you. Right? That part probably feels a little more forward than you might want to be. In other words, you're going back to the person that created the product, and you're going to ask them to promote for you. And yeah, undoubtedly, they probably do have lots of people that bought the product from them. They probably do have lots of people asking them to promote. They don't have lots of people doing video testimonials of them, though. They don't have lots of people whose endorsement will lead to them making more sales. And so what you have to do is, more than likely, I mean, you are going to have times you're going to get turned down. But if you are actually asking the person with whom you got results and you have the video testimonial, guess what you've done? You have moved the odds to your favor, right? That's all you want to do in this situation. So that's the hour. So let's talk about why we want to create products. We want to create products because, it adds credibility. Maybe you have a book, or how many of you have a blog here? How many of you all have a blog, or you have a video channel or a web show of some kind? If that's you, please put the number 3 in the question box, right? So that product, what the product does is add credibility, right? It adds credibility. It means that, hey, you know what? This is a business. I don't do this for free. So in other words, read all the stuff on my site, get my free opt-in. But when you put a product together, it basically says to people, hey, I'm in this for business. I'm not in this as a hobby. what the products do is they capture your experience and they monetize it, right? More than likely, most of us have had a lot of experiences we didn't get paid for. That's one of the beauties now of the information marketing or the information age, is that we all have information. If you've been around this earth for a little while, you have more information than you don't have, and you can monetize that information by making it available to everybody. So basically, a product captures your experience and monetizes it. The product becomes your capital. If you want to know what currency you have in internet marketing, if you want to know why somebody would do business with you, you know what you want to lead with? You don't want to lead with the fact that, hey, I know how to do all this really wonderful stuff. You don't want to lead with the fact that you're really cool and you're good to get along with and you're a nice person, you're a nice gal, you're a nice guy. That's only partially important, but it's only important after you have some currency, you have some capital. You have capital if you've created a product. When you create a product, you have skin in the game and you've totally changed your perception, and you're almost asking for people to do business with you. Now, guess what? When you have a product, that product can be used as an incentive to get other people to buy affiliate products, of course, right? You can use that product as your own. You can use it as an incentive to get people to opt into your list. All of your opt-ins should be worthy of purchase, right? So if you have a product you created, didn't sell, well, that's cool. It probably was ready to be purchased. You can then start using it as an opt-in. Any product you create, any product, large or small, should be used to build your list, and it should be used to build your relationship. So in other words, I have this product and I come to you and I say, hey, you know what? I've got something and I've done all the videos to it. Can you put together some articles and then we'll sell this together? Right? In other words, it gives you something to talk about. It gives you common ground. It gives you the ability then to work with someone in order to put something together. Now,